What is up, everybody? I'm NoLex Given, back with more modded Demon Bluff, and I started the recording a little bit too quickly. The skins are still loading in, but let's load into our first village here. See if we can find the 4 evils before Lilith kills us. There are only 4 evils. Better Boz just adding. It's not the puppeteer. This is a twin minion, right? Oh, no, it is the puppeteer. So it's puppeteer plus either twin minion or shaman, but not both. 1 away from a corrupted character. There are no corrupted characters. All right. Jester. We gotta keep going. We will use this Jester before the day's through. This Jester and this Hunter, or the Hunter's pointing at this person. If the Jester's evil, there's nothing we can do about that. Let's choose these 3. 3 evils. I'm trying to think if I just want to kill them all. I mean, there's a lot of evils left in play. Let's see if this is evil. So that means that the Hunter is always good. So I never have to kill the Hunter. I am 3 away from the closest evil. I mean, that's just always going to be a lie. Let's keep going. That's Lilith. That's really good. Now we can continue to play as normal. There's a chance that both of these are evil alongside the Jester. No, but I need to find the puppeteer and the puppet. So it's actually always, this could be the puppeteer and this could be the puppet. Well, I guess there's 2 ways to find out. We could look at this information and try to see if it could make any sense, or we could just kill the Jester, or we could just, stab anybody. Let's flip these over. Oh, the Jester. Right. But we don't actually have a shaman. So why don't we see what you say? Do you say there's 3 evils here? You say there's 2 evils here. So this is the puppeteer and this is the puppet. Nice. All right. Nice, easy warm-up here. This is going to be a little bit tougher. We're going to have 2 evils plus plus an outcast. Is the Jester always good? Yes. Because this has to contain all of the evils. So the Jester's always good, and then... Oh, but the Jester could be corrupted. Let's see. Is the Jester corrupted if either Plague Doctor points at the Jester as the evil? Would they say that they are corrupted themselves? Let's select the Jester anyways, just because this would be the only thing that could be corrupted. You're going to tell me 2 is evil, 1 is corrupted. You're going to tell me 1 is evil, 1 is corrupted, which that's never all right. And because you told me that 1 is corrupted, that means 1 isn't corrupted, and this is the counselor. We do actually have a bombardier, no plague doctors. Is this the same board? No, this is Minion, Puppeteer, and Drunk. Let's recycle this. I think we actually do have a Drunk. Yes, because there's only 2 evils if we take a look on this count right here. So we have a... Oh, this is bugged. All right, let's get out of this one and... get back into it quickly. 3 evils out of 13. With someone in the comments asked what the Mutant did on the previous video. The Mutant is basically a drunk. Actually, this was a few videos ago. I'm creating a bit of a backlog right now, but the Mutant registers as good and as a demon. They're going to lie and disguise themselves, just like any demon would. However, they don't kill during the night. Don't disregard this final sentence. They are an evil demon, except they're also good. And what that means is when you kill the mutant, you actually take 5 damage. So they're basically like a better drunk. They're a drunk that hits you for the full 5. And it can be really nasty if you can't figure out exactly who the mutant is. 4 is truthful and a saint. Yeah. I'm going to trust all of that. Our outcasts are Bombardier, Plague Doctor. 1 away from the closest evil. That could only be 6. Closest evil clockwise. I think that means the hunter has to be wrong. Shoot. Well, then the hunter has to be right. That is what the mutant does. Hopefully, that was a great example. Why did this say 1 away from the closest evil? It wasn't 1 away from the closest evil. Huh. I'm a little confused on that one. So, okay, the bartender created another drunk. Why was this... This should have registered as good and should not have been picked up by the hunter. Huh. Okay, definitely let me know in the comments if you can figure out what happened there. I'm not willing to accept that one. I always try to look at why I lost and figure it out. Yeah, no, we just had a better ba, which made it look like there was a purifier, but there wasn't. And then we had a bartender, which added in a drunk. The closest evil... This was bad information from a... 1 card away from the closest evil. Maybe I don't fully understand the mutant. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. This is bugged again. Maybe that whole last village was bugged. That's the only thing I can come up with, honestly. I just did a full restart. It's a different day, to be totally honest. And the mutant is back. Let's see how much trouble this mutant is going to cause. This is... Wow. This is a crazy difficult board. I mean, mutant notwithstanding, Puka, bartender, and a poisoner. So they can corrupt a total of 4 people, and then there's a mutant. So every piece of information could theoretically be misinformation on this board. That is a lot. 5 is good. Goodbye. 5 is goodbye. How about that? I'm just flipping all information that I find. Both sides are equally evil. I cured 2 corruptions. I mean, it's just a lie. It doesn't have to be... Wait, can the alchemist be corrupted? It can. Okay. That's in the back of my brain somewhere. This knight could be corrupted between 2 and 6. Yourself, there is a minion and a villager. So I think, no, I think these are our good guys. I think this is our good team. That doesn't necessarily mean that both sides aren't equally evil, but like the poisoner could have corrupted this. I think both of these are good. That's what I am going for. The knight is a double claim. That is interesting. And here's what else is interesting. The 3 things that we have to find. Well, we don't have to find the mutant. Oh, 5 is good again. Okay. But here's the important thing. Double claims. Double claims. Wait, demons can't be in double claims. So this has to be our entire evil team. Oh, and here's something interesting. If this is our entire evil team, that means that the alchemist really did cure 2 corruptions. Now, how you gonna go ahead and cure 2 corruptions? Something isn't adding up. This has to be the Puka. Whoa, okay. I feel like I am on another level right now. The reason that this has to be the Puka is because there's no way the alchemist could have cured 2 corruptions, because they can only currently cure the architect. Everyone else is evil. So this information is wrong, which means that's the Puka, baby. All right. Among these 3, one of them's the mutant. I don't care which one it is, but hey, I'm gonna guess correct the first time. There was also the drunk. Oh, because the bartender made a drunk. Okay. I did do a miscalculation there, but it all worked out, so who cares? And even if I had stabbed incorrectly, I would have been able to kill both of these 2 for, oh no, this would have been a knight. Oh, wow. So actually hitting on this Puka first was pretty big info. But I'm glad I didn't go for this knight second. Yeah, I guess you just like always go in this order. I think if you always go left to right here, then you'll always win. Because even if, what I was going to say is, even if you kill the drunk first, the drunk will only hit you for, what, 2? And then the mutant could hit you for 5, but then eventually you would find the bartender as long as you don't kill the drunk knight. That is the only thing that you definitely do not want to do. All right, this board has got a Puka and a purifier. That's kind of curious. The purifier could mess with our ability to find this Puka. There are no outcasts. Between 4 and 2, there is a minion and a villager. Huh. If this is a minion... Now, if this is a minion, this could be a lie. But, no, wait. If this is a minion, then 4 and 2 are clear. But if this is a minion, that means it's a purifier, which means this is always correct. Now, if this is the purifier, then, you know, that's out the window. Let's save those things in case we potentially have like a baker. You're telling me 4 is good? Well, hold on now. I think that might mean that 4 is always good, because neither of these can ever be the Puka. But here's what could happen. This could be the Puka. So this is currently a Puka suspect. I'm going to mark them with red for Puka suspects. And then, I mean, these are our purifier suspects. All right, so let's move along then. The judge. The judge. This can never be the Puka. So let's find out if the bishop is lying. The bishop is lying. So the bishop's the purifier? That's the current idea. However, a dizzy confessor could be that the bishop is telling the truth and the Puka is sat among these seats somewhere. So let's reserve our judgment. 7 is truthful. Yeah, you just say that regardless, right? So you mean nothing to me. 7 is a real psychic. Well, yeah. I mean, you can't clear your neighbors, though, guys, because your neighbors could always be a liar. Number 1 or 2 is a purifier. I think that has to be always, well, I think because the bishop is also talking about the, I think this always has to be true info. I'd like to explain it better because I think that's why people watch these videos, for the explanations of the logic. So between the bishop, like, I mean, just trust me. No, okay, so like the bishop's information is saying that like one of these has to be the purifier or this is bad info. And if this is bad info from the Puka, that's possible that this is bad info from the Puka. This is the purifier. But then this information would be wrong, and there would be no way to justify this information being wrong. So that can't be true, so this information has to be right. I hopefully explained it all. Purifier is 5 cards away from the closest evil. So what if we do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 6 and 1. I guess there's another way to count to 5, huh? You just take 5 and add the number. But it gets a little bit trickier going backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is still reasonable, and then 1 would be lying. A lot of things are still possible. I'm surprised with how possible everything is right now. Closest evil is clockwise. That I will say, like, that feels very true. It is actually, we're going to look at this information in just a moment, but I do think it's actually possible that this could be the Puka corrupting this information. But then, like, Oracle aside, this could be the Puka corrupting this information, and then this could be the purifier. And 1 is lying because they are Puka corrupted, but that logic kind of breaks down with the Oracle's information. Oh, the Knights. All right, that's going to be pretty easy to check. And then the Druid should always learn no. And yeah, I think that they just will. Let's start with the Stab of the Knight. Then let's start with the Druid check. And we're going to learn that both of these are good, which means Bishop bad. That means that this then cannot be the Puka. Bishop bad. That means that Knight is good, which actually kind of paints this Psychic as our Puka now. Closest evil clockwise. Yeah, I said I was going to do that. Now, some of this ain't math in here, though, because the difference between 1 and 7... Oh, wait, can we go backwards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we can. That's going to be this as the purifier and this as the Puka in that case. Okay, now I think we're back to bugs, but maybe we can actually play this board if we do this. I don't think so. I think that this board is too tiny to get played. Number 3 is a real Jester. Most information is going to be a lie. Okay. There is not actually a shaman pair on this board. There is... So, one of the Jesters is always lying. Wait, is it always a lie if you have information about another player, even? Because if this poet is real, that means that both Jesters are evil. So this poet's information is always actually just bad. And I guess we just figure out, okay, that Jester says there's 2 evils, and then this one's going to say there's 1 or 0 or 3 evils. Yeah, okay. I might edit this one out. We'll see. We'll see. It's probably quicker just to not. And keep moving on here. This is a crazy one again. So, one of these is fake due to the Better Ba, and the Mutant is not something that we have to kill. But we do have to kill 3 out of these 6. And there is going to be 4 pieces of incorrect information here. Exactly 4 pieces of incorrect information, but also Lilith is gonna kill something. I would love to find an activator. Ooh. Thank you, commenters. Thank you, commenters. a medium that says information about a disguised character. This doesn't really tell you this, but just commenters have told me this, and we're going to test it right now. They have told me that a medium that well, I'm going to say green here, but this is an evil character. A medium that points at a disguising character is always true information. Now, maybe things get a little bit muddy with a medium and a mutant. That's possible. But I'm going to trust the commenters here, and I'm going to say that this medium is a de facto goodie. They are just a good thing. And number 4 is definitely the mutant, which means we don't want to kill it, but I might want to flip it. I might want to flip it because I know I can flip it. I know I can flip whatever information this mutant gives me. 6 is truthful, so 6 is a liar. And how you be a liar here is by being evil. So I'm going to kill this. I'm going to kill the other psychic that is saying that same thing. And I'm going to kill 3 and 5. Doesn't matter. I want to do this now in case... Like, well, if one was a knight, it wouldn't have mattered. But yeah, I found the mutant, I found the medium, and that just solves the whole board mathematically. Don't want to give Lilith. I guess if I had flipped one, Lilith would have killed the other one. And then I could have had a flawless board by just killing whatever Lilith didn't kill. And if I flipped one and then Lilith didn't kill, that meant that Lilith was the final face-down card. Will prioritize killing good. Will not kill herself when she's the only card left. Yeah. All right. Now we have got a 14 card board, and this might be the final village of this video. And it's a tricky one. So, Purifier, Bartender, Additional Drunk, Lilith. And that's it. Probably no Puppeteer. The Puppeteer is just here because of the better Ba. And then we also have either a Doppelganger, a Plague Doctor, or a Bombardier. So, how much misinformation do we have? Purifier, Bartender, Lilith, better Ba, Drunk. I don't think my hands worked there. I think there's 5 pieces of misinformation. Plus a Plague Doctor. 6. Alright. Almost half of this board is evil, but not quite half. Not enough that we can just reverse all information that we find. Purifier is 2 cards away from closest evil. Like, yeah, maybe, sure. Ooh, Baker's gonna be big. Baker is gonna be big. We are gonna find a lot of bread here. 14 dies. Druid and Plague Doctor, importantly, they are activate abilities, but they do not reset after a Lilith. Here's also a little bit of a trick. This might have been where the Baker jumped to, so we might be done with the Bakers. It might get a little bit awkward. No. Okay, Bakers are back. Bakers are back in action. Sure, I was an Enlightened. We might not get that much information, but we might find a bunch of Bakers. There's the Bishop. We're just gonna keep going here. Yeah. We're gonna flip these last 4 cards, and then Lilith is not going to get a final kill. Bombardier. A Poet. Let's round it out. 1 final Baker. Fortune Teller. No Lilith kill, but I do lose health on that. Oh, wow. Now, okay. Now I'm really testing my knowledge. Should this Baker have jumped to the Fortune Teller, or could it have jumped to one of these? I know that none of these Bakers are probably ever bad. Like, it's very unlikely. I've never seen it happen where, like, this Baker is corrupted and then this is someone pretending to be a Baker. I've only ever seen real bakers or faker bakers in a village. I've never seen a mixture. I don't think. Don't hold me to that. It's very possible that I have. Let's use the druid to check which of these outcasts are real, but like maybe don't believe it fully. Oh, are there any double claims? There are no double claims between the bakers and the face-up rolls. There are no outcasts. All right. Now we do have a drunk somewhere. This could be the drunk. It's kind of important to know, and it's kind of all right to kill the drunk. I could also try to heal with the cleric. This might actually be a good opportunity to try to heal with the cleric. The problem is, before we jump to that, here's the problem. There are 4 evils, we said. And a drunk, but 4 evils. And who are our potential suspects? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, if this is the drunk, if this is... I think I have to click the cleric. Finding the drunk will let me know that I can check the knight, and it gives me something to do with the plague doctor potentially as well. So let's try to heal. Whew! Okay, so we've healed. We still cannot stab the knight, but the cleric is good, and they have given us some much needed health there. We know that the cleric is not corrupted. It could be a reasonable check with the plague doctor. The plague doctor and the druid are kind of at odds with each other. The druid's kind of trying to be the drunk. Who is the other one I selected? 12. Ah, yes. So according to the druid, 12 is not the drunk. Let's go for the plague doctor on the cleric. I think that that's an important next step. Not corrupted. All right. So the plague doctor's real then. Because this is not corrupted. So the plague doctor's real, the druid is wrong, could be the drunk, but the bombardier is definitely wrong. Always got to double check before I kill a bombardier, but that was indeed the bombardier. So this could now be the plague doctor corrupted. I'm fine if this is the drunk. We're going to stab the druid. I think it might actually have to be the druid. So among 1, 2, 3, and 4, and maybe this one, there have to be like all of the remaining evils. I think just mathematically, yeah, this has to be one of them. That was Lilith. Scout says fortune teller is 2 away from the next evil. That would be the knight, or the scout is wrong. I think we check purifier Lilith with fortune teller. Well, we don't have to check both. Do we check... If we check these 2... Oops. So how many... What do I need to find still? I need to find bartender and better bar. For sure. So for the bartender and the better bar... And I think it just has to be 2 of these 3. I think as long as we kill the knight last, we are fine. But I think we should actually just check the fortune teller. Fortune teller says no evil, so the fortune teller's evil. And from here, it's just a claim between the scout and the knight. Here's something that's a little bit curious. Where is the Plague Doctor corruption? It could be right here. It could be right here, and this is an evil, and then, like, this is a drunk. Or it's just like, yeah, these are the Plague Doctor corrupted characters. I'm actually afraid that the Knight is Plague Doctor corrupted. I think I always have to stab the Scout first. Yeah, there's no reason not to. I think it's the Knight is the baddie, but I just have to do this first. And now I can do this. Okay, yeah, that was just the safest way to go about it. This baker was corrupted, and then I suppose... we should have had a drunk somewhere. But this... Oh, wait. I totally missed this. I was double checking and I was saying, are any of these bakers in a double claim with one of our face-up cards? And this baker was. I missed that for some reason. But they also weren't a knight. They were actually the corrupted baker, which... yeah, it's kind of a tricky thing to solve, and then I suppose we just have like a face-down drunk that the game won't let me check right now, but I think I'm going to check out here for this video. I think that was a good length when I edit all this together, so that's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm No Luck Skiven. Peace.